we ever stop to wonder what's really keeping us safe up here in the Great White North? We tend to think of our security in terms of peacekeeping missions, maybe a bit of Arctic sovereignty patrols. But what about the big stuff? The kind that keeps missiles from turning major cities into, well, not major cities anymore. It's a question that's been bubbling under the surface for years, but recently it's gotten a whole lot louder, thanks to some, shall we say, robust conversations south of the border. The thing is, Canada's always been a bit of a holdout when it comes to missile defense. Our American cousins have this massive multi-billion-dollar system designed to intercept incoming ballistic missiles, and they've been gently and not so gently nudging us to join the party for decades. But we've always politely declined, citing concerns about cost, effectiveness, and perhaps most importantly, our long-standing commitment to avoiding the weaponization of space. Now, with global tensions rising and President Donald Trump back in office, the pressure is louder, more direct, and harder to ignore than ever before. This isn't just some academic debate about military strategy. It's about our relationship with the United States, our role in international security, and what it truly means to be a sovereign nation in an increasingly dangerous world. It's about deciding whether we want to be a passive bystander, relying on the Americans to protect us, or an active participant, sharing the burden and having a say in how that protection is delivered. And let's be honest, nobody wants to be the neighbor who's always borrowing sugar but never offers to help shovel the driveway. So, what's changed? For starters, the threats we're facing are evolving faster than a TikTok trend. It's not just about big, lumbering intercontinental ballistic missiles anymore. We're talking about hypersonic weapons, low-flying cruise missiles, and cyber-attacks that could disable our response systems before a single missile is launched. And then there's the elephant in the room. Trump's second term, his administration, has made it abundantly clear that they expect more commitment from Canada, and they're not shy about using economic and political leverage to push us toward joining the missile defense framework, this time not as an optional ally, but as a necessary partner. Now, you might be thinking, why should I care? I'm just trying to make ends meet and get through another day. And that's fair. But the decisions our government makes about missile defense will have a direct impact on our safety, our economy, and our place in the world. It'll affect everything from the taxes we pay to the alliances we forge. It'll shape the future of our relationship with the United States, our closest ally and largest trading partner. And it'll determine whether we're prepared to face the challenges of a rapidly changing world, or whether we're content to bury our heads in the snow and hope for the best. Over the next few minutes, we're going to unpack this whole missile defense thing. We'll delve into the history, the technology, the politics, and the potential consequences of Canada joining or continuing to abstain from the US system. We'll look at the arguments for and against, the potential costs and benefits, and the real-world implications for everyday Canadians. We'll try to cut through the jargon and the political spin, and get to the heart of the matter. What's the best way to keep Canada safe in the 21st century? En remontant, le fil de l'histoire. On constate que la réticence du Canada est dans un système de défense antimissile n'est pas ni d'ailleurs. C'est un dossier qui remonte à l'époque de la guerre froide. Una période où la menace d'une annihilation nucléaire planète constamment au-dessus de nos têtes. À l'époque le gouvernement canadien, sous la direction des premiers ministres comme Pierre Elliott Trudeau, avait adopté une posture de non-alignment, cherchant à maintenir une certain distance entre les deux superpuissances. Les États-Unis et l'Union. Cette position se traduisit entre autres par un refus de participer à des initiatives militaires perks comme étant trop belliqueuses, ou susceptibles d'attiser les tensions internationales. Ce n'était pas une question de naïveté ou d'ignorance face aux dangers potentiels. Bien au contraire, c'était une décision vraiment réfléchie, basée sur une analyse approfondie des enjeux géopolitiques et des intérêts nationaux du Canada. On craignait par exemple que l'adhésion à un système de défense antimissile ne déclenche une nouvelle course aux armements avec des conséquences désastreuses pour la stabilité mondiale. De plus, il y avait une forte conviction que la diplomatie et la désarmement étaient des moyens plus efficaces et durables d'assurer la sécurité du Canada et du monde. Bien sûr, le monde a changé depuis la fin de la guerre froide. L'Union soviétique s'est effondrée, des nouvelles puissances ont émergé, et les menaces à la sécurité sont devenues plus complexes et diversifiées, portant la question de la participation du Canada à un système de défense antimissile reste un sujet de débat. Et maintenant avec Trump de retour à la Maison Blanche, les pressions sont plus concrètes, plus visibles, et plus difficiles à ignorer. Thela étant dit, la position canadienne n'est pas uniquement motivée par des considerations politiques ou idéologiques. Il y a aussi des aspects pratiques à prendre en compte. Par exemple, certains experts estiment que l'efficacité des systèmes de défense antimissile est loin d'être garantie. Et Q, l'investissement massif requis pour, y participer pourrait être mieux utilisé dans d'autres domaines de la sécurité.com, la lutte contre le terrorisme, OULO, protection des infrastructures critiques, D+. Il y a des préoccupations quant à la souveraineté du Canada et la possibilité que l'adhésion à un système de défense dirigé par les États-Unis ne limite notre capacité à prendre des décisions indépendantes en matière de politique étrangère et de défense. Maintenant imaginez un instant que vous êtes à la place du Premier ministre. Vous devez peser sorgfullement tous ces facteurs, en tenant compte des pressions exercées par nos alliés, des préoccupations de l'opinion publique et des impératifs de la sécurité nationale. C'est un défi de tel qui exige un leadership fort et une vision claire de l'avenir du Canada dans un monde incertain. Et les décisions que vous prendrez auront des conséquences durables, non seulement pour notre pays mais aussi pour la stabilité et la sécurité internationale. L'histoire de la position canadienne sur la défense antimissile est un reflet de notre identité en tant que nation, de nos valeurs et de notre rôle dans le monde. C'est un récit complexe, fait de complexes de convictions et de choix difficiles. C'est un récit qui continue de s'écrire aujourd'hui, alors que nous sommes confrontés à des nouveaux défis et à des nouveaux opportunités. Alright, let's take a breather. Reflecting on this journey so far. It's like we've been navigating a particularly dense fog on the Cabot Trail. We've caught glimpses of the shoreline, heard the distant foghorn of international relations, and felt the push and pull of the tides of technological advancement, but the full picture, the clear vista of what Canada's role should be, remains just beyond our grasp. The thing is, this isn't just about nuts and bolts, about interceptors and radar systems. It's about something far more fundamental, our national identity, our sense of self in a world that's constantly shifting on its axis. Are we content to be a silent partner, a passenger in someone else's vehicle, hoping they steer us clear of danger, or do we want to grab the wheel, chart our own course, and navigate the challenges ahead with confidence and conviction? It's a question that goes beyond military strategy. It cuts to the very heart of what it means to be Canadian. You see, the choices we make about missile defense or any aspect of national security, for that matter, are like ripples in a pond. They spread outwards, affecting not only our immediate safety but also our economy, our relationships with other nations, and even our cultural identity. A decision to fully embrace a US-led system under President Trump could strengthen our ties with our closest ally, but it could also raise questions about our independence and our commitment to multilateralism. A decision to remain on the sidelines, on the other hand, might allow us to maintain our autonomy, but it could also leave us vulnerable in a world where threats are becoming increasingly complex and unpredictable. It's a bit like deciding whether to invest in a new furnace for the winter. You could stick with the old one, hoping it'll last another season, but you risk being left out in the cold when the temperature really drops. Or you could shell out the cash for a brand new high-efficiency model, knowing that it'll keep you warm and cozy for years to come, but also aware that it'll put a dent in your wallet. There's no easy answer, and the best choice depends on your individual circumstances, your priorities, and your tolerance for risk. So, as we pivot towards the final reflection, let's not lose sight of the big picture. This isn't just about defending ourselves against missiles. It's about defending our values, our independence, and our way of life. It's about ensuring that Canada remains a strong, prosperous, and secure nation, capable of facing the challenges of the 21st century with courage, wisdom, and a distinctly Canadian sense of pragmatism. It's about figuring out, as a country, how we can best play our part on the world stage. So, here we are, standing at the crossroads, staring out at a future that's about as clear as a Saskatchewan winter blizzard. We've poked around the history, the politics, the techie bits, and the what-ifs of this whole missile defense shebang. And what's become crystal clear, is that there ain't no easy answer, no slam-dunk solution that'll make everyone happy. This is a real head-scratcher, a true Canadian conundrum. But maybe, just maybe, the real question isn't whether we should join the Yanks' missile defense system or not. Maybe the real question is, what kind of Canada do we want to be? Do we want to be a nation that's constantly reacting to threats, always playing catch-up, always looking over our shoulder? Or do we want to be a nation that's proactive, that's shaping its own destiny, that's contributing to a more peaceful and secure world in its own uniquely Canadian way? Think about it. We've always been pretty good at punching above our weight, at finding creative solutions to tough problems, at building bridges instead of walls. We're the folks who invented insulin, who helped broker peace deals around the world, who gave the world poutine. Okay, maybe that last one isn't quite as globally significant, but you get the idea. We've always had a knack for doing things a little differently, for finding our own path, and maybe that's the key here. Maybe instead of just saying yes or no to the US system, we should be thinking about what a Canadian approach to missile defense might look like. Maybe it's about investing in cybersecurity, in intelligence gathering, in diplomatic efforts to de-escalate tensions. Maybe it's about working with our allies to develop new technologies that are more effective and less provocative. Maybe it's about strengthening our own Arctic surveillance capabilities, ensuring we know what's happening in our own backyard. The thing is, there's no one-size-fits-all solution here. What works for the Americans might not work for us. We've got different geography, different priorities, and a different history. We need to find a solution that reflects our values, our interests, and our unique position in the world. We need to have a good, honest chat, as a country, about what we're willing to do to protect ourselves, and what we're not. And we need to do it without getting caught up in the hype or the fear-mongering. So, where does that leave us? Well, hopefully it leaves us a little bit wiser, a little bit more informed, and a little bit more engaged. The decisions our government makes about missile defense will affect all of us, so it's important that we have a say in the process. It's important that we ask tough questions, that we challenge assumptions, and that we demand accountability. It's about making sure our voices are heard, loud and clear. From St. John's to Victoria, the true practice begins now. It's about staying informed, staying engaged, and staying true to our Canadian values. It's about building a future where we're not just safe, but also strong, independent, and proud. And that, my friends, is a goal worth fighting for.